Okay, we're recording. Perfect. So this is a game I played against Jeskai. This is the third time I've recorded the audio for it, so hopefully it goes well this time. I kept this hand because it curves out nicely. I have all my lands, and depending who I'm up against, Pox can just be completely devastating. Keep, and it's looking like blue-white control, possibly Jeskai. I don't usually like to just slam Shrieking Affliction on the first turn because it tells my opponent what they're up against and how to play against it. Throwing away Cryptic's a good idea for my opponent because I might be Pox, I might be Rats, and he's probably not going to get to 4 mana, or at least not stabilize at 4 mana. The reason I'm not just playing land slamming Lily here is because my opponent's in open mana with 2 cards up. I'd rather end up with 1 less Wrenchmind than just 1 less Lily and have a bunch of Smallpox and Wrenchmind in my hand. Spell Snare's perfect there. I don't take any pain off my Godless Shrine there because nothing to cast. Again, open mana, 2 cards in hand. If there's going to be a counterspell or anything to counterspell, it's going to be the Smallpox. So I'm pretty confident that when he doesn't counter it, that he doesn't have the counter, and that next turn I can just slam my Lily. IOK is a great draw here, lets me protect my Lily. Take the counterspell, drop the Lily, and my prison locks are just completely in check right now. There's almost no coming back from this. Scoops to Mutavault Beats, he knows he's licked here. Moving on to game 2, I pulled out Path to Exile because Fatal Push is able to knock off every creature in his deck, and I don't need to ramp him on lands, and I put in instead Rest in Peace for snap shenanigans. This hand is about as perfect as you can get. I have, well, my colors are a little wrong, but c'est la vie. Playing IOK into double racks into Lily is pretty nice curve. Orberg's a fine draw there because it can keep my Marsh Flats a swamp, and then hold the activation up for Fatal Push. I took a Geist of St. Taft out of his hand, which is just perfect. That card can be obnoxious. Also, he didn't have anything that could interrupt my playing a Lily. Double Shrieking Affliction, or sorry, double racks anyway. I threw those into open mana because I have a handful of lands and a Lily, and if he counterspells one of those, then good. It just turned one of my racks into a discard spell and got me further ahead. I don't like doing that if I only have 1 rack though, because then I have to draw into another one, which can take a long time. Again, just like last game, Wrenchmind before Lily. Make sure it doesn't get a counterspell. Remand, and it does get the counter. I don't really mind Remand as a counterspell, unless he's Snapcaster Remand, but usually they don't get to 4 mana and hold up 4 mana against me. Usually they do something like this. Tap out for a Nahiri, immediate plus. He just wants to march that Nahiri right up to ultimate, summon that Emrakul, and win the game. This is just great for me because he's so tapped out. I know I can slam the Lily safely. 4 cards in hand. Yeah, he's getting in range real fast. Pitch the swamp so I can, pitch the plains because it's worthless. Keep the Marsh Flats in case I need to trigger Fatal Push. 1 more Affliction. My opponent knows I have Wrenchmind in hand from that Remand, so they probably shouldn't play a card here, and they don't, which is brilliant. Just marching that Nahiri right on up to ultimate. It's a very bad plan against against the rack here because I can just ping Nahiri for 3 every time he has low cards in hand. And since I have 3 card in hand, yeah, pitch that took here in case of Cryptic Lily bounce. That's the same reason I didn't play Wrench Mine before ticking up Lily. Yeah, got him down to 1 card. Mutavault beats. Swing it at Nahiri. My opponent actually telegraphed a little bit there with tapping the mana, so I kind of knew that Mutavault was going to get bonked here, but I also didn't really care because it just turns Mutavault into discard spell, and I have 9 points of racks on the battlefield already. Into Lightning Helix, targeting Mutavault. It's nice he gets to protect his Nahiri. He probably thinks to himself he's going to ultimate here because he didn't read the rack that well, but sucks to be him. Rack takes Nahiri down to 5. And now he's in this terrible position where if he casts his spell, his Nahiri is just going to keep going down. And he has to go through a Lily. The best top deck he could have got, Bolt or Snapcaster. He top decks the Snapcaster. Hits Lily for 3, Bolt, and Lily's gone. But that's fine. If you can top deck Snapcasters, I can top deck Lilies. No card to discard, so I make him sack one of these Snapcasters. And as you can see, Nahiri marched itself right up to the next turn ultimate, and the rack here is just beating it down. Completely no fear against Nahiri. He realizes that's what's happening, downs it, takes out a Shrieking Affliction. It's probably a reasonable thing to do, but it's also a little bit too late. Snap takes down Lily. Yeah, this is the first time I played Rest in Peace in the deck. I didn't realize it was going to take out my graveyard as well as my opponent's. Makes Raven's Crime Dakmor loop a lot less efficient. I don't know if we'll be seeing Rest in Peace. I guess that's better still against Dredge and whatever, but we'll see how it goes. Pass turn, and I had the choice of killing Nahiri or doing 5 to my opponent. I choose to kill the Nahiri just so he doesn't down it again and take out my other Shrieking Affliction. It's just better to have 2 racks than 1 rack. Opponent's going to hold cards in hand and only take 1 on next turn unless I draw a discard spell, which I do. And that is game.